Hey guys, how's everybody doing tonight? It's the first Monday we've actually gone back to work, so hang on just a second. Gotta turn my notifications off. Alright, so anyway, I've got an oil here. This is my favorite ever. This is like my, I guess you would call it my unicorn oil. It's called Valor, and I really need it right about now because something just happened that, like, I'm kicking myself because I should have known. I just should have known. But I was doing something that literally never would have crossed my mind that I would ever be doing. It has to do with baby praying mantises, okay? If anybody... You guys, if anybody knows my life by now, first of all, if anybody knows me and you know how much of an animal person I'm not, okay? And all the animal related things that have happened lately, you're going to want to stay tuned for the story, okay? But for right now, I've got my Valor. Yeah, Amy, I'm going to get to the story, I promise, but I have to take a chill pill for just a minute so I can get through this MLM stuff because this is good stuff. This is kind of what I've been wanting to get to for the last few weeks. We've been talking about several things, so I'm going to kind of go through this stuff and then I'm going to tell you the story about the mantises, okay? So just a recap of what we've learned over the past, 3 weeks now? 3 little videos that I've done. We've learned that MLMs are legit. Okay, they're not traditional, but they're not illegal. They're not pyramid schemes. They're actually a legit way to make money. They work off of word of mouth advertising, so it's people who are just talking about products, talking about what they love, talking about a service, whatever, and then the company pays them for their advertising instead of paying to put commercials on TV. Okay. There is real money to be made with an MLM. It's actually like you can make really good money, all right? Anyone who's willing to put in the time and effort can do it, okay? But it's not for everyone, so keep that in mind. It's a great way to make several things. You can make extra income, you can pay down debt, you can make part-time or full-time income. Hey, Katie. You can also make residual income for the future, so like, just having money come in after you've stopped working. And also you can make friends, okay? So you can be a part of a community. A lot of people like the idea of being a part of something bigger than themselves. So here's some things that you should know if you're thinking about getting into an MLM, all right? These are some things that, me being the giant planner of a person that I am, I didn't know any of this. So I'm telling you because you never know, okay? It could be something that, it might save you a lot of trouble if something like this is not for you, or it could really help you out as you're trying to choose the next step in the path to financial security, whatever you want to call it. So first of all, you need to know about your company, okay? You need to do some research on your company. Hey, Mitzi, you need to do some Googling. Don't believe everything you read because obviously there's always going to be people that have bad experiences, but do some research on your company. What kind of reputation do they have? And you also need to know how long they've been around. Newer companies, they can be really, really great, but you also need to be careful because some of the newer companies aren't stable yet and they still probably have some kinks to work out or some obstacles to overcome. It's a really safer bet to kind of go with the companies that have been around for a long time. So check on that. That's something you should know. You need to know about the startup cost. Okay, so every MLM has some kind of a startup cost and it can range anywhere from like $99 to thousands of dollars. So you need to know about that. And while we're talking about that, you need to know how long does it typically take somebody to recoup that startup cost. All right, so you definitely want to know, like, am I going to get my money back in the next month? Or is it going to take me a couple of years to get it back? thing that's important when you're going into it. You need to know about your product, okay? Know about your product. Is there a demand for the product? Do people actually want to buy this? Do you want to buy this? Because I promise you, if you're in an MLM, you're going to be up to your ears in product, whether you like it or not. And so hopefully you want to be a part of a company that sells a product or has a service that you absolutely love, because you're probably going to have a lot of it in your house. Just speaking from experience on that. You also need to know what kind of support you're going to have. If you don't have a good support system of people that are going to help you get started, I would say maybe take a step back, do a little more research. You could probably find some people who would help you get started, that maybe it's not the person that you were signing up with, but typically if you're going to do this as a business, you need to go in with someone that's going to be there to support you, or who can put you in touch with the people that are there to support them. All right? You also want to know what kind of money people are making. And you want to know how long does it take to get to the place where you ultimately want to be. So if you have a figure in mind, you have, a specific financial goal in mind, or maybe you don't. You can look at that company's income disclosure statement. You can Google it, or you can ask a representative or a consultant. They'll probably have it. They should have it. And you can look and see what the average person makes at certain ranks or certain levels within the company. And usually that statement will have how long it takes that person to get there on average. So that kind of gives you an idea of how long it's going to take you to get to where you want to be. Some things that I've learned in my little journey is that being your own boss is amazing. However, being your own boss is really, really challenging, because if you're going to work every day and you have somebody standing over you, cracking the whip, saying you need to do this, you need to do this, while sometimes that can be annoying and feel very confining, and you want out of it, and you want to do things when you want and how you want and all that kind of stuff. When there's nobody standing over you, cracking the whip and telling you what to do every day, it's a lot easier to just lay back and not do anything, right? So being your own boss is a lot of work, just saying. The hardest work that you'll ever do is up front. So you're going to put in those really long hours and those really long weeks up front, and then as you start to grow your organization and grow your team, and you kind of establish yourself, it starts to become easier. The work is still challenging, but it changes and you become used to it and you find your groove and everything. So the beginning's probably the trickiest part in a way. It typically is, if you want to make full-time income, you're looking at about a 4-year stretch to make that happen, okay? These are not get-rich-quick schemes. That is not what these things are about. You honestly have to put in the time and effort, and 4 years is about the average what it takes someone to get to the level where they're making a full-time income. Also, great thing that I've learned is that you will find some BFFs for life. Seriously, you will find some amazing people who will be your best friend, and you would have never met them had you not gone down the path of working for an MLM. I have been amazed at how much I've learned about myself and how much I've grown in the process, how much I've pushed myself past things that I feel like were limitations for me. And a lot of people do this. Personal development is huge when you are working for yourself, working for a company where you're working for yourself. Yeah, Katie, like you're a BFF for life. So it's just cool. It's really cool if you're into that kind of stuff. And you definitely need determination, and you need drive to be successful in an MLM. So that is all I have to say about that. I absolutely love the opportunity to work for my company. I'm a Young Living rep. We sell all kinds of essential oils. We sell all kinds of products. I mean, just about anything. I can't really list everything, but personal care, cleaning, makeup, baby, kids, animal stuff, skin care, all kinds of stuff, supplements. that's completely natural. Everything's totally natural. So that jives with me. I'm in love with the product. I'm in love with the company. So it's no problem for me to just talk to people about it, because I'm like, even if they weren't paying me, I'd talk about it. So it's a bonus that they do. So anyway, that's why I have my Valor. Okay, so are y'all ready to hear what happened to me tonight? I'm still like, oh my gosh, how did I do this? Okay, so anybody that's been keeping up with me knows, first of all, you know about my dog, and you know about the dog with 11 babies and all these puppies like running around, and thank goodness everybody got a puppy that, it was great, rehomes and all this kind of stuff. Whew, we have one puppy left. That's been kind of crazy. Puppy running around with the mama, chasing everywhere. It's kind of nuts around here. But it's okay. In the process of all this, my daughter, who is 8, she is the animal lover. I don't know where she got it, because it wasn't from me. I don't want people to hurt animals. I just don't want to be the one to have to take care of them, okay? So she found this praying mantis months ago at our fall festival at church. It was a big praying mantis, a grown-up, and we kept it for like a week. We tried to feed it, then we couldn't find food for it, then it died, then she cried, and I felt terrible. So her birthday was coming up. I ordered her 2 baby praying mantises in a little cage and all the food it needed, which, by the way, the food is fruit flies that can't fly. And they like breed in this gooey stuff. It's disgusting. But here I am letting fruit flies out so these little mantises can like capture them and eat them, and we can watch them, and it's really disgusting. Then they molt out of their shell, and because these 2 mantises could not seem to figure out how to molt, here I was pulling the mantises out of their shells and snipping them with little tiny scissors and tweezers, and like mantis surgery. Okay, so that was done. Those 2 mantises died after all that. I was like, oh no, my daughter is really upset again, okay? Felt horrible. So I decide, okay, we're going to order these little egg things where they'll hatch out and all the praying mantises will come out. And since there's a bunch of them, maybe we'll have a few survivors and we won't have to keep watching these guys die. So I ordered it on Amazon, and it said it came with 2 egg things. They're like this big, they look like a walnut, and they come in this little cup with a lid, and there's all this it looks like Easter grass on top of it. And so the 2 little things are down in the bottom, and they hatched like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, ooh yeah, so I put it in the cage, I take the top off, all the mantises go out in the cage, and then they all pretty much died. We had like 3 or 4 left, which is fine because there was like hundreds. So I took the little cup out and I set it on her table in her room, and we were feeding the mantises, the babies that were in there. And I forgot there were 2 egg thingies. And I thought they both hatched, or whatever was happening was done when they hatched the first time. But I was just in her room, like cleaning up and gathering laundry, and I walk over in the corner, and it is a swarm of baby praying mantises, like all over her table, all over the floor, all over all her toys, all over her dress-up clothes. And I'm just running around my house going, oh Jesus, help me. What do I do? Nobody's gonna help me with this. So I'm like gathering containers, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, do I pick them up? And they're seriously like, they're this big, okay? And there's hundreds of them. They're everywhere. I'm sure I'm stepping on them. I'm sure they're crawling on me. Aria comes out of the shower and she was just like, oh no, Susie. She did not love that. She was terrified and she was mad. But I made her help me, and so we were like scooping up mantises. They're crawling up the wall, they're in the carpet, they're all over her art supplies, and I was dumping them into any container I could find that had a lid. But you'll be happy to know No, I did not take pictures of all of this, Amy. Are you kidding? I was like sweating and freaking out because there are bugs that look like this in my daughter's room, and there's hundreds of them. Okay. We put them on the back porch, and they're going to live in the backyard. Okay. So I just had to recover, okay? My daughter is now traumatized because she thinks that they're going to crawl in her mouth while she's asleep. However, I made her stay in her bed. So, there's that. Anyway, I hope no Janet. No more animals in this house. No more bugs, no more birds, no more things with 4 legs, no more things that I have to feed with bugs. No, I'm breeding fruit flies in my house. I'm done, okay? Come here. Come here. Yes, I do love you. I know, it's so hard. It's so hard to be a baby dog. Look at this guy. That's Falcor. I guess he's worth it. But you guys, the mantises, okay? If anybody needs any for like their classroom or their yard, I'll gladly give you some. Because now we have hundreds again. Alright. Ew, it stinks. Here. Take him, his breath smells. Thanks for joining me tonight. I will update you on the situation. And next week, we're going to be doing something way more fun than this, okay? We're going to be talking about personality colors. So if you've never taken any kind of personality test, you don't know what color you are, we're going to be talking about it, okay? It's a lot of fun. You learn a little bit about yourself. You learn a little bit about the people who are closest to you as well. So join me next week. I will talk to you later. Thanks for stopping by. See ya. Bye.